Like 5 days. Oh,
Sorry.
good evening. Today's this is the CPC meeting. It's Thursday, December 1st. It is past 7 o'clock per agenda. So pursuant to Chapter 20 of the Acts of 2021, Act relative to extending certain COVID measures adopted during the state of emergency, signed into law on June 16th, 2021. This meeting will be conducted via remote participation. No in-person attendance by members of the public will be permitted. So first order of business, call the meeting to order, which I just did. Thank you everyone for attending. And then first item on the agenda is discuss and vote annual town meeting warrant article placeholders. Freddie, did you have a write-up we can share and everyone can see them, or we just want to talk about them?
So this is just a placeholder, so these are not draft minutes. I mean, these are not draft warrant articles. We're just telling them these are going to be on the warrant or potentially it's holding the place, right? And if they need if Mark Purple says he needs more in writing, I can provide that because it's not and then you guys would vote on it later, right? I could just do that if they need to, but I think we just, in the past, we've just had the name and how many there are, right? So if you look at the agenda, there's only one that has to be described a little bit because it's not anything you've reviewed before or heard about. It just came up. Do you want me to explain it?
The townhouse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So John Parent had contacted Andrew and I and said they're going to go out to bid for the townhouse. And it is likely because of increased costs from when they designed the project, everything's gone up, that it's going to be higher than what we funded. Sorry. It's going to be higher than what was approved at town meeting. And you can't just up the amount. It has to be a vote. And I explained they'd have to come in and talk to you and be reviewed. There's no guarantee, but the bids won't come in until like 6. The timing's very tight, so it needs to be on the draft agenda for any possibility. But they are well aware that this is no guarantee that there's two things. Depending how high it is, they may not want to do it right now, or alternately, the CPC may not want to fund it. I mean, I shouldn't say not want to fund it. They may not think recommend it's the best, or that you have the funds to do it, depending on what it comes in at. So everyone understands this is just keeping the possibility keeping it as a potential. Otherwise, they wouldn't be able to be on the warrant. So, and then the other ones, they're all ones you're already aware of that we have to have. The budget. We have 2 bonding articles. They come up every year. They were voted years ago.
Betsy, can you let me share my screen? I can just show it to. I
Yep.
mean, I know it's on the agenda, but
before we leave the discussion about the townhouse, if they're looking for more money and it's within the contingency, can they just not? Could they just use the contingency funds, so to speak?
well, I think what they're worried about, Mark, is that it's going to come on much higher than the original.
And in that situation, doesn't town meeting have to weigh in? I mean, we can't.
Yeah, that's what Freddie's saying. We'd have to put a placeholder out there. Let's see what the bids come in, and then we decide whether or not we want to up it by whatever amount, and say, okay, we go to town meeting, and this is the placeholder on the.
Okay, thank you. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
And can I respond to your talk about contingency,
Sure.
just to be sure. Once it goes out to bid, you still need the contingency in case
Very true.
something else happens, because this is certainly not a, not the end of what could happen in a construction project.
Did everyone see my screen?
Yes.
So as you can see from the agenda, the required budget, that's standard, just where all the buckets, the money we're taking in, where it goes, the admin funds, everything, the bucketing that we've looked at from a finance piece. The required bonding articles, which is the library restoration, the PR preservation restriction for 84 Main Street. Then a holding spot for, again, these are holding spots, these other ones, for the high school athletic complex, open space preservation commission project at the library. We'd have one for that possibly, if that comes to fruition. And then what we're talking about here, the townhouse adjustment request from John Parent, which again, we don't know yet if they need, or if they're gonna come to us, but if we want to even entertain it, which I think would be, personally, I think that would probably be best to show that we're still want to fund a project or advocate for a project we've already recommended the town meeting, got approved. Not just shut the door as to, no, we're not even going to consider it, not knowing even what it comes in at. So, but so those are the placeholders. Anything else people have or can think of? So does someone want to make a motion that we submit the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 placeholders?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Can you also add in that you authorized me to write a draft warrant if needed for your approval later?
So moved.
And second.
All right. I go as I see people on my screen. Ann,
Yes.
David,
Yes.
Mark,
Yes.
Ben,
Yes.
and Andrew is a yes. Excellent. So moving right along, consultant special project, Freddie.
This is required because the public records request is outside of my normal hours, so you just need to approve that I'm going to work on that. And I'm suggesting up to 20 hours, and I'll work with Andrew to ensure and update him on what's going on. It's more complicated than a simple dealing with, there's 5 projects, multiple invoices, multiple emails for each invoice, multiple resubmission of invoices.
So this is just giving Freddie, saying that we're gonna allow or, give the task to Freddie to get this organized so that we can give a proper timeline from what was being requested in terms of the records request.
So I thought the records request was supposed to be paid by the requester. Is that not the case in this scenario?
Well, so there's a couple of things, and I don't want to get too into it, but there is a piece that that's my understanding as well. However, we've been working with both the town and town council to get this straightened out in terms of what the request is, the timing and everything. But it's in our best interest to get everything organized, and let's get it organized. And then we'll, because we don't want to be behind on this. Does that make sense? Yeah, but there should be, it might not be fully funded by the requester, but we get some of it. But regardless, we need to, needs to be done.
Yeah, under no, there should be no circumstances under which Freddie doesn't get paid. She should get paid for whatever time she puts in, but it seems to me that the requester or the town should pay it, but that could, hopefully that could be sorted out, but I have no problem with, being proactive here and stepping up to the plate and authorizing the payment if need be.
Okay. So there's a motion. To
I'll certainly make the motion. And is it to set aside funding?
just a motion for Freddie to work up to 20 hours on the records request special project.
So moved.
Second.
Second. Okay, all those in favor, Ann,
Yes.
David,
Yes.
Mark,
Yes.
Ben,
Yes.
and Andrew is a yes. Chairman's report. I really got nothing new from last time we met about a week ago. Except that Thanksgiving was great, and I hope everyone else had a great either Thanksgiving or a relaxing day because you already had Thanksgiving. And minutes, I didn't see. Betsy, were you able to get the minutes out yet, or?
I did. I sent them out like 2 days after the meeting. Did nobody get them?
But I got it. It was so quick and perfect.
Oh, thank you.
I got it. I can't say I looked at it, but I got it.
So,
Do you want to hold off on it?
yeah, let's hold off on that one. Our next meeting is when, Betsy?
Don't think we have one yet.
Oh, okay. So let's do January. Do we need to meet again?
Can we be aware that Kristen's not here? So that we'll set the meeting dates and then check with her? Is that okay?
Good idea.
Just so that that's on the record, that we're not ignoring the fact that there's a member not able to weigh in, but at least get the tentative ones. Normally you do it for Thursdays, which seems to be the free night of the week, except for once a month. Ben has conservation. Have they set January's yet, Ben?
Yes, I'm looking it up. Oh gosh, they're not on the calendar yet. I haven't put them into my own calendar yet either. It's gonna take a little bit of research. But
Can you
we're
count?
gonna be
just-
checking. We're gonna be checking anyway. I would say we should maybe shoot for the 5th or something like that. And
Historical Commission also meets on Thursdays, and we have a meeting on the 5th.
okay.
So, if I may make some suggestions here. Ben, do you know when, by counting days, when Concom meets counting weeks?
It often gets a little messed up around the holidays with so many holidays. We kind of skip a week. 29. Whoops. Sorry, half a second. Two. So I believe the 19th would probably be our first one. So
And
I'd be-
Annie's not available on
The 5th.
the 5th.
Correct.
So can we just tentatively write the 12th and tell everyone to bring their calendars to move forward? But before you do that, Andrew, can you or Betsy, I had sent out the timeline to town meeting.
Oh, yeah.
Can you bring that up? You just want to be sure there's not a deadline that we need to make
Mhm.
that requires the CPC vote.
Right.
We look for it. 1 sec. You sent it out today?
No, I sent it out after the last meeting along with the Algonquin documents.
You emailed us on the 23rd with those attachments.
Budget calendar? That one?
Warrant closed March 1st. I'm looking at it right now. December 9th, non-money articles submitted to the select board's office. January 5th, annual town report submitted to the select board's office. Then the next one is March 1st, warrant closed. Saturday in January to be
There you go.
determined, proposed, but, oh, there we go, all right.
Right, this is it.
So the December 9th is the placeholders that we just did, right? I believe this warrant closed is a mistake because it would be closing after they send it to print. So I'm guessing that might be February 1st, not March 1st. So by looking at this, it looks like there's nothing in December you have to have besides oh, I'm looking at January, sorry. I hit my head too, which wasn't. Sorry, I said that. Do you see anything else in January besides the town reports listed?
Nope,
So the budgets will be reviewed on some date in January, and that's normally when they review the warrant articles for whether they approve or don't approve.
Yeah.
Or recommend or whatever it is. So the 12th looks like it would be good.
yep, that's what I was thinking also.
Okay.
So
I
is
just want to
everyone,
keep
you
this in
know,
mind.
and Betsy, if you can just reach out to Kristen, make sure she can make it. I assume everyone else is good with the 12th.
And I will follow up with the selectman's office to see if there's anything critical that you need before then, just to be sure. But the other thing is you want to know that you still need to vote on your warrant articles before, and I'll send you that date out. There were still some questions about Algonquin, and we'll do that at the next meeting.
Okay. So we got our next date. Looks like there's only one other thing. Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
There's a second.
Second,
All right. Ann,
Yes.
David,
yes.
Mark,
Yes, go Patriots.
and Andrew's a yes. Betsy, Freddie, thank you so much. Freddie, I hope you feel better. And go Patriots.
Thank you.
I think this is a record short meeting for us.
Yeah, impressive,
Great.
impressive.
Oh, that's great.
Excellent. Thanks, everyone. Appreciate it.
Take care.
Thank you.
Everyone.
Good night.
Bye.